KKHT wants you to meet three of the classiest guys in real estate.
I am Chris Kelso, the maestro of mortgage.
I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate.
And I'm Joe Orsack, the king of credit swing. And together, we're
the Real Estate Rat Pack.
Much like us, real estate right now is smoking hot. So whether it's buying, selling, or owning, you need to check out the Real Estate Rat Pack.
They're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now, 1-800-808-5548. And now, the Real Estate Rat Pack!
That's the 2015 version.
Whether I want it or not.
Whether you want it or not.
Now with goat stereo added, it's beautiful.
It
I
makes
listened
it
to that
great.
now the last couple weeks that it's been there. That's been pretty awesome.
Well, Happy New Year's to you both. This is our first show of 2015.
First show of 2015. Gonna be a great year, by the way.
It is, and you had a big goal hit this year.
Absolutely, a very big goal. You know, one of the things I always tell everybody is it's important to do goal setting, and I'm always a big believer in also not only doing goal setting, but putting something very big out there to obtain, and also attaining it with your business partners is extremely important.
I am going to start setting goals this year.
You start setting
Is that your goal? Wow.
Yes.
So I want to do a shout out to Lois Darmas, who is one of our past guests on the
Lois!
show. Hello,
Lois.
That was me
And she
shouting
and her
out.
husband Brian just did a fabulous party out there at the Japanero in the city center. down in
Japanero.
Sugar.
That is correct.
Oh, it's great sushi.
Yes.
It was
Great sushi and
great
tamales.
sushi. Well, I don't know if they had
Awesome. Japaneros.
We gotta-
Why does that sound Spanish to me? I think it's the narrow part of it or something. I don't know. De Niro.
And so I digress.
Japa De Niro. That's one of those impersonators.
We have a great show today.
We have a great show. We have the ladies from Kingwood Humble in the house.
In the house, and we have we have Megan LaTour.
Yes.
That is correct.
We have Tiersa Smith. And
And
then
we
we've
have
got
Angie Stockton.
Hello.
Down the end.
That is correct.
So welcome, ladies.
Both of them saying hello nowhere near a microphone.
You know, it's always great.
We're
to
not
start-
making it up, people. They are here, I promise.
Always great to start the new year with three lovely ladies in the studio with the Rat Pack.
You know, a couple of times we've had way too much testosterone in the studio. I'm so,
Oh, yes.
so happy that we can balance
I'm
that out a little bit. It just get too
Thankful
much.
that we're doing some makeup around here.
Yes, indeed, indeed, and we're doing a good job at it too. So Megan, welcome to the show. Tell me who you are with, how you got there, and
what you currently do.
what you currently
What
do.
I currently do. Hi, Houston. So I am currently with JLA Realty.
Which is our friend John.
John
Walton.
Altic.
John Altic out
And
there.
by
You
the
know,
way-
John, if you're listening, you need to call in, by the way. We want to hear from you, buddy.
John, you know, Tiersa and I, we're going to be fighting over Megan pretty quickly here, so I just want you to know it. So you better get yourself down to the studio. Anyway, you got into real estate. What were you doing prior to real estate?
I did a number of things. Mainly, I worked in accounts payable for a construction company.
And that would be your father's construction company?
Correct.
And what's the name? We'll give him a cheap plug.
We'll give him a great plug.
And
Triple B Construction
Triple B
Services.
Construction. Okay, we can send
First
him an
one.
invoice now. The first invoice of 2015.
There you go, yeah. But yeah, so I did accounts payable, and then I worked in a leasing office for a little bit, and then I got into real estate.
Yeah, and you primarily worked at Kingwood area, is it specifically
Kingwood, Huffman, yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in Huffman. So.
Okay. Two Huffman residents here then. Wow, awesome. So, and I don't even know a whole lot about Huffman. Tell me what the market's like up there.
Native Huffmanians.
Huffmanians. It's good. Just like anywhere in Houston. I grew up in the Commons, so big lots out there and lots of stuff happening. So
You know, one of the things I don't think most people know, I mean, especially, you know, when I first moved to Houston, I didn't really know the difference between, you know, Kingwood, Humble, Huffman, Atascocita.
Oh, you left the H
Yes.
off.
What?
humble.
Yeah.
Humble.
Later we're going to go into Houston.
Yes.
I got to visit
You
a friend of mine at
Yeah,
the
you gotta be-
hospital.
as well.
You got the H out of there.
Yeah, that is correct. You got to get the H out of there.
He's my
But-
Omi.
But hey, watch out. But you know, let us know a little bit sort of how that is up there. You know, what does that sort of look like? I mean, you know, for the person who's coming into Houston, you know, what is that like up there? I mean, is it really one big city, or is it truly, you know, separated out, or how would you describe it?
Well, we recently got running water.
Oh, come on now. I don't think it's much different than Houston. It's a lot less traffic.
Less traffic.
Yeah, so you get out of the hustle and bustle of downtown Houston. but everybody still is great up there. Market's great up there.
Right. Mm-hmm. And a lot of stuff going on, especially, we hear about Generation Park coming online right now. A lot of stuff going on over there, especially on the Beltway side of things, and that really impacts a lot of the Humble, Atascocita area of that growth. I mean, how are you seeing those type of things over there right now?
Making everything crazy. Making everything crazy. Everything's growing and lots of stuff coming in, commercial, restaurants, shopping.
Yep, a
all
little bit of
kinds
everything.
Of stuff coming in, yeah.
It's one of the things is, we have an office up there in the town center area right there in Kingwood. Let me tell you, it's amazing to see just what's going on northeast, southwest of that area, like I said, where our office is right there. I mean, you go up on the north off of 59, absolutely some great growth going on. You've got obviously the new 99 or what's called the Grand Parkway coming in. You go down south and you've got everything going on, down over mentioned right there as far as the Generation Park. And then you have also Kingwood proper, still a lot of stuff going on within Kingwood proper.
The livable forest.
The livable forest, and I don't think most people realize is, when you look about oil and gas in Houston, a lot of it started off right up in that area. I mean,
well, Professor, tell us about that.
Well, I'm probably not the best one.
It all began with the dinosaurs.
But yeah, the dinosaurs 10 million years ago.
Depression in the
Anyway. So oil basically what it does is when it's in the ground. That's what they call it, fossil fuels, by the way.
Thank you.
That is correct. So just for all those who don't know, it's called fossil fuels because dinosaurs, when they passed away and they decomposed underneath the earth, that's sort of what happened.
That brings us up to the Mesozoic period.
So you see, Joe does know his stuff.
He's just grabbing names.
I just fake stupidity so I can.
Then industrialization came around. Yeah, but you have the old Humble Oil Corporation or company, right? Mm-hmm. Which is also known as Esso, which is now known as really ExxonMobil is today. But that was really one of Houston's first main growth, main areas, drivers of oil and gas that nowadays obviously dominates Houston's landscape overall. But really, that time frame many years ago, that was very strong out there. That's really what started Houston and Humble.
So, Megan, are you seeing a lot of people who are moving in from out of the country, out of the state, coming into that area and they're working for oil companies or ancillary companies to oil?
Yeah, we have a lot of I would say overflow from the Woodlands with Exxon moving over in there.
Exxon's moving to the Woodlands?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Really? No, I'm just.
I was about to say, did I get it wrong?
Actually,
don't do that to me.
Actually, the campus is actually in Spring. It's not in the.
That is correct. Okay. Absolutely. Yes.
So don't make her feel bad.
And then
I was just messing with you on that.
I don't need that. I don't need that this morning. So we've got a lot of people that because the Spring and Woodlands area is kind of crowded. The traffic on 45 is terrible. So moving out towards Kingwood, you still get the nice area, but without the traffic. Again, just like getting out of downtown
Kingwood
Houston.
Drive. Have you been on Kingwood Drive in the morning?
Yeah.
It takes about an hour to get to 59. But once you get to 59, you're good.
Yeah. Well, and then with 99 coming in, that's going to help a lot, too. Yeah. So.
Now, you mentioned, you worked for a construction company. Triple B did a lot of that
Chris
raising.
tries to talk, take two.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Did a lot of that work, or did some of that work, right, to be able to clear out some of those areas was the Parkway, was it?
Well, they did the clearing work for the Generation Park.
The Generation Park, okay.
For 99, I know they've had different areas. I'm not exactly sure what areas, but I'm sure they've had their hand in some of it.
It's pretty neat, though, because if you go on that north side where you see where 99 is going to actually come in, if you actually there's actually a YouTube video you can go out there and follow in a helicopter, and it takes you all throughout what that's going to look like. It's pretty impressive, and it's really fast. I mean, relatively speaking right now, to get from Kingwood to the Woodlands, it's not that bad. You take that 1314 on the north side, cut right across over there, and it's going to be even easier once the Parkway is in.
Now, the Parkway is going to go to 45 at the end of this year. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, now, and then it's going to go over to 59 from there.
I think
they're working on that.
I think they're actually working on it, but I still think it's not scheduled until 2017, end of 17
that was
maybe.
My question, if anyone knew about the answer.
That's right. I think it's either late 17 or early 18.
And it's going to be all toll road at that point?
It'll be all toll road, that is correct. It'll be a toll road, which they'll continue to increase the fees on like they're doing right now.
Yeah, that's one of Chris's favorites.
Yes,
let's talk
exactly.
toll roads.
Chris,
Yeah,
let's talk toll roads. No, let's
Chris,
not do that.
I am sure that after the road is paid for, they're going to get rid of the toll.
Yes, exactly, right?
No, actually, they
Yeah.
passed a referendum about 15 years ago that is never
Look,
gonna
a
pay off.
unicorn.
Yes, a unicorn. That's right. That's almost as good as seeing a chicken up at this level. We're thinking about you, Renee Davy. Anyway, when people are coming and buying up there, other than being transferred to the area and they're new to the area, what draws people to that area? What made her think?
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
Made me think. I really think to get away from the traffic, because Houston is so congested. I mean, right here in front of the Galleria makes me want to pull my hair out just sitting in the car in that area.
And you have a lot of hair.
It's terrible. So that would be my biggest thing. Is it's still comfortable living out there with shopping and lots of restaurants, but you don't have to deal with the everyday bumper to bumper traffic.
Yeah, well, we do have that, and of course, Chris, you go through that all the time because you're always going from the city center out to Kingwood.
That is correct. You know, I travel, and Joe said this all the time. I mean, I think 59, and Joe hates when I say this on air because he's the only way to discover it, but 59 is one of those freeways
Best
that
kept
is
secret.
at best kept secret.
Oh
in
my
Houston.
gosh,
Let me
yes.
tell you, it is absolutely incredible. I mean, I will do anything I can to cut over to 59 to go up and down that corridor right there because it is so easy. It's very low traffic. Great people drive up and down it. You know, and I can tell you this also. I mean, the Kingwood, Humble, Atascocita, a lot of great people. I mean, you know, a lot of really, really good people.
Yeah, we got
everyone
friends
knows.
right here.
Everyone knows each
There you go.
other. You know, we all hang out. We all do stuff together. It's really a sense of community up there.
One thing
And,
that when I moved to Humble in '85, and it was 2 lanes. 59 was 2 lanes, one coming, one going, and 1960 was 1 lane on each side coming and
Oh,
going.
yeah.
I think there may have even been a red light at 59 in 1960. I could be wrong.
Wow.
But the one thing that's still kind of evident, it feels like it's losing it a little bit now because of such an explosion out in that area, but there was still a strong sense of a small town community.
Right.
And that was very much alive. In fact, there used to be a little bit of a joke about how the true Humble citizens didn't want to cross over 59 to shop at the mall, and they would only shop on the east side of 59.
Oh.
So that was a big prevalent feeling in that area that I always really enjoyed. Did this small town kind of a feel while still having access to all the amenities.
Yeah, when we talk about marketing, things like that, we always talk about these little throwaway magazines, things like that.
Right.
In Houston, they're not nearly as effective because people are so used to it. But in the smaller areas and communities like that, people wait for those things to come out
Right.
so they can see what's going on in their
Right.
community. So there is a small town sense to that area. So I think
I would thoroughly agree.
Very, very attractive.
I think
And- And let me know a little bit about JLA, by the way, because, you know, one of the things I love John to death. Let us know a little bit about JLL Realty.
Tell us the truth about
Yes.
John.
Tell us the
John
truth.
is awesome. JLA Realty is a great place to work, to be a part of. I moved there in about May, I think, and I can't say that I've made a bad decision. So
No, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
He's
very good
he's
guy.
growing a lot. I think he's opening up out in Katy or
Yeah,
has
we-
opened in Katy.
That is correct. Has Katie.
by the
and-
end of 2015, we're hoping to expand and open 5 new offices.
Well, I keep telling him we're going to buy him when he hits 100. He said, better get your checkbook out. 'Cause come about January.
he had an explosive 2014. I know
He
that.
really did.
Yeah, December of last year, I think he said he had around 22.
Yeah.
December this year, we're about at 85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he'll hit
So-
100 pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, and very, very, not only a good individual, good
Rob's
ethical
thumbing through his
individual,
checkbook.
but also just, you know, operates a very efficient organization.
He
so,
does.
you know, and I tell everybody one thing, it's always good to do business with good people.
And John's a very good person.
Yes.
Always there for his agents. You know, anytime you need him, midnight.
Oh, God, his
he's
head's going to be
always
so
there.
swelled now.
Yes,
He's going to
exactly.
be impossible to deal with.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to know what it's going to be like to speak with him this week.
I think
you know,
we'll send him an invoice, too.
that
I
is
was just
correct.
going to say, I mean, are we hitting him up for sponsorship or something? What's going on here?
But, you know, time flies when you're having fun, and guess what we're up against right
No,
now?
not a break.
15 minutes in. We got to give a break right now.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. But stay tuned, everybody. We're going to go on a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we're back.
Yeah, we always have fun on the break.
We always have fun on the
Joe would
break.
go get coffee, and we were chatting, and he goes back, and he forgot to pour any more coffee in his cup.
I had sugar in the cup. Rob and I were just chatting away. A good friend of ours, give a little minor shout out. My wife's best friend, or Tracy, her son, was on America's Got Talent this past year.
Right.
And we went out and saw him last night to support him, along with a couple other young artists. And at 14, man, the kid was just phenomenal. I mean, really, really great. So Jonah Miles. YouTube channel.
I guess we won't invoice them.
Pull them
because,
up.
Yeah,
Right.
They're still amateurs.
Yeah,
When they're professional, we'll send that
So
invoice.
I'm just trying to slip in some plugs now, so he'll buy me a car or something when he hits it big. I'm hoping he's like
it's
Elvis.
the Rat Pack that really propelled you on those
That's
votes.
right. That's why. I'm hoping he's like Elvis and just buys everybody he knows cars.
Joe and Chris, I actually taught an MC class, the Legal and Ethics Update this week. And
That is correct.
Our wonderful sponsor, Capital Title, and Philip Scalise had arranged that. And so our next guest, I actually kind of cornered her, and Philip cornered her, and she really wasn't in a position to say no. But we're
Might have
glad
been
that
an
you did
uncomfortable
not.
class then, huh?
Tiersa Smith.
Absolutely. Yes.
Tiersa Smith with Texas Superior Realty. Welcome to
morning.
the show.
Good morning.
Now you've got a whole perspective on that Huffman, Tascasita, Humble, Kingwood area, but you do a fair amount of big sales, like big land sales. Is that right?
We do a little bit of everything. Absolutely.
And so when people are coming looking for a ranch, are these people or acreage, are they coming for recreation, or are they looking for working ranches, or are they all of the above, none of the above?
Pretty much all of the above. It just depends on the buyer. We see a little bit of everything.
One of the things is, in Tiersa, you're obviously right up there in the Huffman area. You've got a great team. Big shout out to your whole team, by the way.
Yes, they're wonderful.
A wonderful team, by the way. I had a great time at your Christmas party. It was absolutely incredible. And let me big
I
shout.
don't remember getting that invite.
Yes, exactly. Well, we keep certain things private, right?
Yeah, well, I understand.
Yeah. We keep all the the vagrants out. So.
Wow.
I did not
And
say
that is
He
the
said
sound
that.
of the bus.
But it was a great party, and a big shout out also to your caterer, by the way.
Absolutely.
Incredible food over there. But one of the things you're obviously right there in Huffman, and one of the things we were speaking between the break is, most people don't realize, and Megan was alluding to this as far as it being that small city or the city feel with a lot of big amenities, but also you have a lot of other things that you can do out there, especially in the Huffman area. You have a big lake. Guess what?
We do have a big lake. Mm-hmm.
And that lake allows people who might want to who are outdoorsmen or outdoors women and want to be able to ski or to fish or to drive up. I mean, you really have a lot to do out there aside from just living. I mean, it's really a great recreational area.
I
well.
do highly
It
recommend
is.
living, though, by the
Yes.
way.
It is.
Oh,
It's one of my
you have
favorite
to live
recreational
to have
sports.
that recreational portion.
No, it is. It's a great lake, and of course the river feeds into it. So
Right.
a lot of boating, a lot of fishing, a lot of skiing. There are certain areas you can access restaurants from the water, which is pretty neat.
That's my type of.
And
Yeah.
Tiersa's
Yeah.
quite the sportswoman, by the way. I was on Facebook, and she looked like she had like an 8-point buck that she was standing over that you probably had just killed. And
I do a little bit outdoors.
Yeah, a little bit
Little
outdoors.
bit,
And
yeah.
I saw you, there was some, I think, some bass that you're pulling in.
A
And,
little bit.
yeah, so I'm ready for some of that backstrap from that deer, by the way.
Well, that's
I thought that was a buyer with a bad offer.
Well, that should be a warning to those buyers that want to make a bad offer. She's a good
don't make a bad
markswoman.
offer.
I told you.
I told
No
you.
secondary offers.
Highest and best.
Yes. How did you start Texas Spirit? Where were you before?
I actually started at Remax in 2006. Was there for a little while. Left there, went to work for another independent company as a branch manager, and then opened this company in March of 2013.
And how
So
many
we're
agents
coming-
do you have now?
We have 16 agents right now.
Good.
We have the Huffman location, and then we also have an office in Eagle Lake, which is
Wow.
towards Columbus.
Well, I know
Sealy.
exactly.
My old
Eagle-
stomping
Yep.
grounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have posters still up with your picture.
Yeah, I know. That's why I left.
Well,
They're still searching for you.
maybe if Tiersa's with you, they'll let you through.
Yes, maybe.
But there's a lot of things that you can do up in that area that you can't. Of course, if you're in Houston, it takes a long time to get out to those country type areas and things like that. So that does give a little like advantage to areas like Huffman and Kingwood and stuff that you can get out of town very quickly without ever transversing a city at all.
Absolutely.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you
would
get
agree.
out there a lot too, as well, don't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm up there quite a bit, and obviously I know all these ladies, very well because I'm up there all the time. But one of the things I've always, liked a lot about it there is, especially when I go visit your office, for example, I go over that long bridge, by the way. But you have it's a lot of diversity up there. I mean, whether it be through education, whether it be for recreational activities, whether it be for shopping or just going out and having a good time, you really do have everything up there, and you still have a lot of development still coming on. I mean, 59 going from the north side has a lot of new stuff that's coming on board. They've got a brand new multi-use center that's coming on board right up there in the North Park area.
Kingwood Park.
That Kingwood Park, that is correct. You have some more, from my understanding, entertainment going on a little bit further north up from there as well, past Porter.
Yep.
And so, you really do. I mean, we're really seeing that next pocket of growth being in that northeast quadrant that we have here in Houston, which is that whole area.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's face it. There's only three directions it can really go into: northeast, northwest, southwest. And
That is
of course,
correct.
You go to east, you land in the water, of course, and it's already developed. So
Oh, yeah.
the obvious place to go is to the northeast and northwest.
Right.
I think that area is kind of really the best kept secret of Houston.
It's secrets out today.
Secrets
I
out
know.
after today, by the way.
But no, it is a great place to live. I graduated high school out there, lived out there most of my life. A few years, like 3 years ago when I graduated. But
2007.
something like
Yeah,
that.
it was a
Something
good
like
year.
that. Yeah. But no, it is 59 is a great freeway to travel on. We've got Huffman, which is kind of more of a rural area, like Megan was saying. The larger lots. One high school, one middle school, so still kind of small. But and then you have Kingwood, which has all the amenities of Tascasita. So it's all right there, but still kind of separated a little bit, which
One
is
of the things
nice.
that always I think that's important for a community is medical. What type of medical is out in that area?
Well, we have Kingwood Hospital, and we have the Northeast Medical Center, which I think now is Memorial Hermann. I think
That
I
is
think they
correct.
bought. So we've got a few options out there for medical, which is nice. Yeah.
And and those individuals like to go all the way up to Lake Livingston. I mean, it is the main corridor going up to Lake Livingston as well. So a lot of individuals. What's amazing is a lot of individuals who live out there in the area also like to go out to Lake Livingston
Right.
a lot. I mean,
Right.
and it's not that it's a really fast commute out there to Cold Springs, Lake Livingston, all that area. Still, I mean, it's that corridor.
It used to be almost a day trip to go up there, and now it's kind of like in our backyard.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
It's like, of course, all these new roads going in certainly help access to those areas. I don't know if they're going to be that happy about that though, because when growth comes people,
Right.
And of course that'll a lot of people are concerned
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I have a command of the obvious.
It's great for business, but being a little selfish, we do kind of think about losing that small town feel, but it's coming. There's no doubt about it.
Well, and get back to Generation Park. We hear a lot about what's going on with ExxonMobil and how it's impacting a lot of stuff going over in Kingwood, which is true. But really, most people don't realize is that Generation Park and what's going to be happening over there. FMC Technologies is taking a large chunk of opportunity over there. You have some of these major, services companies in the oil and gas industry, and they're going to be putting in their new corporate headquarters in this Generation Park area. We're just now starting to see you sort of have that perfect storm. You've got the Generation Park coming up from the south, and then you've got ExxonMobil from the northwest. And then you have all your amenities up in up in the north, further north, right there. So you're right. I mean, it's inevitable for that growth to happen. We're starting to see it. I mean, if you take Summerwood all the way up, if you take Kingwood where it's developed, if you go all the way out to Oakhurst on 59, continue to move up all the way off of 13, 14, where you have some other amenities and some other subdivisions up there, you're really starting to see that change. You're starting to see a lot of people come in. And the other thing I've seen, and you can talk about this a little bit, is also, a lot of the younger generation is looking at moving out there. I mean, it's not just individuals with family. I mean, we're seeing younger generations moving up there and saying, you know what, it's a great place for me to commute from downtown, but also has everything I need as a younger generation to be out here.
That's right. Lots of amenities for the younger people.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask, was about demographics. If you're just seeing, young people, middle-aged, retirement ages, or are you seeing all?
I think, from where I'm sitting, I pretty much see the whole spectrum. I see.
Well, yeah, you've got Rob, Joe, and me here, so.
Single people buying homes, young married couples wanting to move out that way because it's a great place to raise a family, good schools, and then all the way to the other end of the spectrum to a couple that I helped. They were in their 90s, and they were.
Oh wow!
They were the cutest thing ever. But
they were asking about the club scene.
They wanted to know where all the clubs
a bit of a hard sell
were,
for them.
And of course I probably know more about that than I do, but that's okay.
We're really interested in the jazz. We're not so much into jazz. We want heavy metal.
Yeah. Rap. Mostly rap. Yeah.
Mostly rap. Yeah, they want to know where the rap clubs were.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then we do get a lot of, you talked a lot about Exxon, but we do get a lot of clients from LaPorte, Deer Park, all the plants. We could pull a lot in that way because it's still a close commute for them. So
right.
It's just kind of this little pocket that's a really great place to live, and you kind of want everybody to know about it, but not really. So.
Right.
It's
like from a real estate perspective, move here.
From business, great.
Bring it your money and then go home.
Yes, that's right.
So, well, of course, in some of those areas, they do second homes. Sometimes people do buy a small ranchette or farm, and they visit on the weekends. And things like that.
I've sold homes to clients in the Commons where Megan grew up, and for a weekend home, which I thought was kind of funny because they live in the Heights. And when I think vacation home, I'm thinking I'm going more than 30 minutes
visit
away.
our vacation home
it's not
30 minutes
Huffman and 30 minutes away.
Yeah, so but
that's bizarre.
Everybody's got their own.
Just keep buying vacation homes 30 minutes further away. Eventually, we'll get to the beach.
You can go from those inside Heights, which is about as cityfied as you can get,
right,
to an area like Huffman, which is. You have a lot of country around there. They're
thinking about buying a chicken.
And people do think that that's country out there.
It is country.
It's yeah.
Okay. They're going to invest in some chickens and put them out there.
They need to have some space.
Yeah,
yes.
and goats.
Yeah, we have to have goats.
Yes. So.
Well,
they're in the Heights and they saw that whole goat video, and just ever since then they've had this idyllic idea.
There,
buy a vacation home in Huffman and get a goat.
Problem is you can't get that. You can't get that yell in the Heights. You have to go out somewhere.
That's right.
Else.
There's ordinances.
You got to go a little further out to get
that. A little further out, right?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of going further out, by the way, 15 minutes has gone by again.
That's because we keep playing around.
Exactly.
How do people get a hold of you?
Yes, exactly.
Well, our website is TexasSuperiorRealty.com.
TexasSuperiorRealty.com.
Pretty self-explanatory. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
And you can find them
we have
also
a phone
on
number at 281-324-2008. We do have phones out there.
Good.
Yes.
Just got it installed. It's one of those dial rotary thing,
you
have to.
You still have to, use the finger. So
any which way you
get
want to.
Get Maydell on the party line.
Well, time flies. We're having fun. We're going to have to go against a break right now, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Anytime I move my finger, lucky me, can't you see? I'm in love.
Have you been in credit prison so long that you forgot what freedom feels like? Break free with Improve My Credit USA. No longer do you need to feel embarrassed, trapped, and like you have no options. Improve My Credit USA, the consumer-voted #1 company in America, can help you navigate the challenging path to credit freedom, lower your interest rates, or finally qualify for that new home. Break free today and call Improve My Credit USA, 281-914-4116.
Does it matter who does your real estate inspections? You bet it does. You want someone knowledgeable and experienced, someone you can rely on and trust. You want A.B. Bowles Home Inspections. Owned by Ashley Bowles, A.B. Bowles Home Inspections makes client satisfaction a priority. You'll get detailed, easy-to-read reports. Plus, they'll take the time to explain the report to you before and after the inspection. If you're investing in real estate for your family or as a business, call A.B. Bowles Home Inspections at 832-306-3723. That's 832-306-3723.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we're back.
Well, welcome back to the Sportsman's Paradise
Yes,
Hour.
we're talking tuna fishing over
Yeah,
here.
we're talking about tuna fishing and hunting and all that.
Wow, I
on the
mean,
break.
exactly. You know what's funny? We get on these subject matters that we speak on the radio, and all of a sudden, like, the mic goes to break. We're like, oh, we forgot to talk about this, or man, the fishing was great.
So what did we forget to talk about? We can,
Whatever we
pick
forget
on
to talk
Angie
about,
here
whatever we forget to talk about,
fill in the
Angie
blank.
Stockton with Keller Williams
Has
can tell
all
us now.
the answers.
She has every answer known to man and woman. Let me tell you.
And by the way,
be brilliant, go.
and by the way, they can't see you shake your head. But
By the way, speaking of being brilliant, though, she walked over and she goes, I am going to tell the audience something that they didn't know about Kingwood.
That's right. Kingwood was created in 1971 as a joint venture between the Friendswood Development Company, which we know is Exxon. And King Ranch, which King Ranch owned timber, and that's why they call it Kingwood. And that's what I love about Kingwood. We do keep our trees. It is the livable forest. Don't forget.
It is.
It is, absolutely.
And even though Kingwood Drive, now of course I get a long chance to enjoy Kingwood Drive because usually when I'm driving it, there's about a 30-minute to go from there to West Lake Houston Parkway.
Right.
From 59 during traffic hours, so I get to enjoy the trees at that time.
Yeah.
It is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Now
While
you're
sitting still, they want you to enjoy the forest.
Yeah, that's right.
It is, and it's not as bad as other areas, as we know, woodlands. I mean, the traffic, and they are making it better, like y'all say, with the 99, and so it's
Woodlands
getting
Parkway.
better.
If you exit that on 45, and then at about 5 o'clock, you'll be sitting there for a while. So I agree with that statement stuff. So what brought you out to Kingwood?
I am Houston origination, but I did move to Atascocita, and actually it was for work. I worked for Harris County 911 before I became an agent, and it's just as everyone is moving towards the more, less compacted areas of Houston.
Yeah.
What she probably did, she's working at 911, she said, that's where the least amount of phone calls I get. Deductive reasoning says I'm moving
I
out
think
there.
being a 911 operator would make her a perfect qualified candidate for real estate.
That's right.
Yes.
She kept a big map on the wall of where the shootings were coming from. The least red spot was where she went. So
That is correct.
Well, that is probably one of the things that attract people out there. There is probably a
lack
lot
of
less-
shootings.
I was going to make a more broad general statement that we often talk about people's buying habits, and sometimes they buy for safety.
That's true.
And security. And I know people coming in from Mexico, one of the first things they want a gated community.
That is correct.
And they're thinking about their family and safety. So it makes perfect sense that someone would move to an area where there'd be less, crime. Let's be just clear about that.
Well, there's a lot of master plan communities there.
Right.
I mean, it is master plan community, and it's exploding.
Right. And that includes Eagle Springs, which we hear a lot about. That includes Fall Creek up there. It includes a lot of different communities. In fact, one of the things, first and foremost, I want you give a big shout out to Michael Clapp, by the way.
Hey, Michael.
And then secondly is, you work with a lot of new homes sales up there. In fact, with Weston Homes and KB Homes, a lot of new developments. So talk a little bit about what you're seeing in regards to those new developments, those new home builders, and some of the areas that you're seeing and what's going on there.
Absolutely. It's exploding. I mean, there's new home construction everywhere. All along West Lake Houston Parkway, you have all the new communities coming. You have the bridges, the KB Homes, everything that's just exploding.
There's 3 invoices so far.
Yes.
KB Home, West, and what was the other one?
The bridges, we're going to do development right there.
Well,
Yeah, so you got all the development still going on along West Lake Houston Parkway, and then you got things also. I mean, and along there you do have everything. I mean, if you go from the Beltway and you take that all the way up to North Park, I mean, literally right and left side, you have every couple of miles a brand new subdivision that you can actually buy into right there.
Yes.
And it really depends on whether you want to do, a half-acre lot, or you want to be on the lake, or you just want to be close to, Kings Harbor or wherever it needs to be.
and all price ranges, too.
Is there still opportunities on the lake itself that you
There
can buy?
are, yes,
New
absolutely.
construction?
We even have right next to Keller Williams Northeast in Kingwood, there's a new community coming there, River Grove.
And that
Maybe
actually has
homes.
some lake lots on it as well.
It does.
So, I mean, that's one of the things that's pretty interesting, because if you look at it, that for a little while, you didn't see any lake lots in there. You had to go into that gated section right there, and then that was about it. If you didn't already own an acre lot in there, you weren't buying or building, and now you've got that new subdivision going in right next to your office, and it goes all the way back 256 lots, from what I understand.
That's correct.
Because Ronnie's right there in your office, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. They've partnered.
So what amenities, when you're doing a lot of new construction, and since they're buying a new home, they're usually buying a new home because, you know what, we want to be the first person there, and we want it the way we want it. Right. What amenities are they looking for?
Well, it's just reselling their homes, and they're just wanting new construction. They might have bought resale, so we have so many opportunities in the Kingwood area, whether resale or new construction.
Right, and amenities-wise, up there, I still think, if you look at the KB section, it's about being close to that. It's about all that lifestyle of outdoor living. I mean, I still say
we talk about it all the time. People
outdoor
don't buy
living
houses, they buy
is just
lifestyle.
huge up there. It's not a person I don't speak with. What are you doing this weekend? When it's hunting season, they're hunting. When it's fishing, when the fish are coming down, they're fishing.
Tiersa's
it's
flashing
very
weaponry signals
exactly,
over here.
exactly. But it is. It's very much an outdoor society. I mean, I've seen that, and I see it from everyone that I visit with as well.
Yeah, we've had a lot of builders on talk about outdoor kitchens, and it expands the home without having more square footage in the home themselves. So they're
and the value of the home, by the way.
Yes,
you see people adding it on to their.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it definitely increases the value of your home. Outdoor kitchens.
Right.
And people are moving outdoors, and they're entertaining outdoors. And what I was asking about was when they're buying new constructions. I think that a lot of times it is, I want this lifestyle. I want it different because I was in maybe more of an urban environment, and now I want to get into more of a suburban. I'm going to have my friends over, my family over, and we're going to entertain, and I want it to be comfortable.
Right. And in your case, you're invited sometimes, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know Ashley Bowles, who is here in the studios, he invited me to his house tonight. We're doing barbecue ribs.
That is true, and you're doing the fights tonight, which is going to be absolutely incredible. And for all those who don't know, Ashley Bowles is a great sponsor of ours, and is a great inspector, more importantly, right there, and a great individual.
Yes.
So
just decided to come hang out with us today in the studio.
Just come
we
hanging out with
our
us.
sponsors to come hang with
Flexing
us.
his sponsorship muscles.
Yeah.
And he has a perfect face for radio, as he says.
Yeah. Anyway, so how'd you even get into real estate? What
A very good
like
friend.
one morning I woke up, I felt a little crazy. I think I'll go get my real estate license.
No, a very good friend, Tracy Montgomery. She's a top producing agent. I've known her for years and years, and she invited me in.
And you said, that sounds like fun, huh?
Sound like a plan.
Did she make it sound easy?
She did. She still does. She makes it easy, yeah. And I've being trained under someone that is a top
and that's a
producer.
great way when you get in the industry is to get with somebody who can take you by the hand and show you the ropes and, have a mentor, somebody that you can be accountable to. It's a great way to learn it. And I've had actually a couple of people this last week who are a little bit lost. They've actually been in the business a while. They're going to come over to our company. And, I told them, maybe get on a team or something where you are working with somebody and you can watch people do what they do. And then you can recreate that piece. And it's really important.
Exactly. And you're with a company who offers, obviously, KW up there, offers a lot of training, a lot of mentoring, a lot of ideas, you got your BOLD program. I mean, so a lot of stuff that you're actually able to offer. And I tell everybody is real estate is, in my personal opinion, it comes down to, it's not as complicated it's as complicated or as difficult or as easy as that individual makes it.
That's
But you can be as successful as you want to be if you put your time and effort and energy into it. It's not going to come just by sitting around.
No, I saw the post on Facebook this week. I hope it's going to be a great year. I'm wishing it's going to be a great year. And then I've commented on a couple of them. It says it'll be whatever year that you make it.
Right.
Well, the fun thing about a market like the market we've had for the last couple of years is you get this kind of mindset of, man, I'm getting into real estate. Real estate's hot. Right
easy.
now. Yeah. And it's like easy money. And I'm like, it's still a business, and you still have to run it like a business, and you still have to have business acumen. I mean, there's so many of those frustrations where, we had a caller last week who said, he's trying to sell a property, and he called several different agents and left a message and has yet to get a phone call.
Right.
That's business 101.
Yeah.
Please take my money.
And let me tell you, I've done business with all these ladies in here. Let me tell you, as good as we've had closings, there's been challenging ones as well. Everything doesn't always go smooth, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to learn how to have that ability to walk through the business and to learn how to communicate. In fact, Angie and I have always talked about that. Communication is absolutely key. And there's some people who are really good in this business who know how to communicate, and there's other ones that unfortunately are going to continue to hope because they don't communicate.
Well, I've seen agents that are afraid to call their clients. I don't want to tell them the bad news. I don't want to tell them. But you know what? Got to tell them.
Oh, trust me. I know Angie. Angie is not afraid at all. I mean, Angie should be the first. She does the right thing. I mean this. She does the right thing. She calls me first.
Choose you
and
out.
says, "I need you to qualify this person right here," and she'll actually bring the client to my office. We did one a couple weeks ago.
Awesome.
Actually brings them to my office. We sit down. We go over right there in front of them. And then we explain the whole process together. And then she's able to get out there and find them what they need.
Well, there's a great book called Brian Tracy's a real quick read. It's called Eat That Frog.
Yep.
And basically, the things that you find unpleasant, do that first.
Yep.
And it'll make your day a lot better. Because otherwise, that kind of snowballs in your brain about, I don't want to talk to that person. But that seems to be the big issue with that.
Right. Well, The thing's always challenging in this business is delivering bad news. And bad news does happen. I mean, I know Megan's had it, I know Tiersa's had it, and I know Angie's had it. Delivering that bad news, but let me tell you, it's a lot easier if you get it out and if you get in front of it. Deliver it, get in front of it, and then work through what you can do to correct it right there.
My whole
the worst thing you do is try to do
on dealing with bad news.
Your credit score is 580. That's bad news.
That's too funny.
And you can do it,
but you can turn it into good news.
That's the beauty of what I get to do.
Yes.
That's right. And we talk about hiring professionals all the time.
That is correct.
And the professionals, it's like cream that rises to the top. Those are the ones that are doing well in the industry. They're making a living in the industry. And
yes.
3 of those are in the room today. And, the consumers, it is a lot of moving pieces.
Right.
And you had a situation that, and I was talking with our own Michael Roddy last night about that deal you worked out for them.
Right.
With a little bit of knowledge that you had that another company did not have, and you were able to turn that around just knowing something about HOAs, like homeowners associations.
Well, as we talk about all the time, all of us in this room, while we all want to continue to grow, we're all in co-opetition with each other. I mean, we're going to walk out of here today, and Megan and Angie and Tiersa are all our friends. Are going to know each other even more. They're going to help each other even more, even though they work for 3 different companies. And that's the beautiful part about real estate in Houston.
It's about relationships.
We're coming up against a break. I want to make sure that Angie, folks know how to get a hold of you.
Absolutely, yes. And I have a whole list of new build construction listings, so I'd be happy to help any prospective buyers come my way. Keller Williams Realty Northeast.
And
how they reach you?
Yeah, website or email?
Or phone number?
AngieStockton.com, email.
AngieStockton.com. You can also reach her at AngieStockton.com, by the way.
And, of course, we will be putting all that information on the Real Estate Rat Pack page and on the website. So
that is correct.
We had a caller on last week's show that was someone who's interested in getting in the business of real estate, and one of the comments they made about the show is how much they enjoyed that we help other people interested in the industry talk about what to do to be successful. So when we come back from the break, you guys are rock stars. Let's talk a little bit about what has made y'all successive.
I like that. But we are coming up against a break. We're past the break right now, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Cause it's got a lot of heat. Just add a dash of kisses to make it all complete. And that's the recipe for making love.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we're back. Hey, I do want to give a big shout-out, by the way. I forgot one shout-out we have to do. For all those who love listening to this show and want to hear about great, successful living, today at 4 o'clock, by the way, I took over a radio show from Bill Napick.
He's taking over the world.
He's taking over the world.
No, you're taking over the world.
I'm taking over the world from Bill, by the way.
One radio show at a time.
Yeah, today at 4 o'clock, you'll be able to hear Successful Living with me as the host filling in for Bill. And we're going to be talking about living a balanced life, by the way.
That's with Samantha Merritt.
That's with Samantha Merritt.
Who we had on just recently.
Correct. And Laura Masichek as well. Both really nice agents and good individuals. Speaking about living a balanced life in the real estate community, it's extremely important. You can also talk about, you're going to hear about how they like to do contracts in bed, by the way, but that's a different subject for a different...
In their pajamas.
Yeah, in the pajamas. You can listen to that at a later time. But, before we do that, though, we want to talk about getting involved in the business. We want to talk about getting involved, and more importantly is, how you got involved in the business and about being a successful agent. I think that's extremely important.
Well, I think the premise that you're using for the show this afternoon is a good question to ask. How do you keep your life balanced in a market like we've been in a hypermarket probably for 2 years?
Oh yeah, I would absolutely agree right there.
And of course, a lot of families have to kind of sacrifice your being there, knowing that you're busy.
You know who can answer that question really, really good, by the way, as far as living a balanced life?
Well?
Might be somebody we have on the phone right now, actually. Somebody very good, an individual who we all love to hear from, Mr. John Altick. John, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Doing very well, man. We appreciate you calling in.
Oh, yeah, you guys have a great show, and you got a great group of ladies on there today, so I thought I'd just call in and say hi and congratulate all three of them on a great show.
Yeah, well, I'm over here steadily recruiting Megan.
Rob, that's your number
John,
one.
I'm holding court for you. Don't worry, bud.
That's the number one thing Rob does best, I figured out. You see him at every event, and I thought he was just a socialite, but I know better.
Yeah.
and he's really good at invoicing. You may want to check your mailbox.
But we were actually, I don't know if you heard the earlier part of the show, but we're actually giving you great compliments on how you've grown and so quickly, and your agents just love you, and of course they don't know you like I do.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
but
guys, though. Yeah, 2014 I think was good for everybody in the real estate market. You talk to anyone out there, and they've just had a banner year. And the most part, though, I would say it was the back half of 2014, which we hope then runs into 2015 as a great, strong year, and a lot of great agents in the market. So it's just been fantastic.
Well, John, the NRG Group is putting on with Dr. Ted Jones on the 16th of January. Go buy a table. And he's going to give you some prognostication about 2015 and what's going to happen. So he's got some interesting insight. I was sitting with him.
He's always a great person to listen to.
I always listen to him. And I was sitting with him. We were having nachos and margaritas, and he was kind of explaining what he sees for it. So it'll be an interesting thing to do. So,
Dr. Jones was eating the nachos. You actually had the margaritas.
Actually, he was actually drinking a Coors Light. But, anyhow.
Well, you're talking about, you guys are talking about work-life balance, and that's probably the number one challenge in real estate. If you were to ask me where the agents struggle sometimes, is that we are always trying to make ourselves available, and a lot of times we're showing homes and selling houses and meeting with clients outside of the normal 8 to 5 daytime that most people get to work.
8 to 5 doesn't even exist, does it?
No, and it's weekends and it's holidays, and my phone rang 3 times on Christmas Day from different people wanting to talk about real estate. It's just the nature of our industry, and so it does get into that work-life balance, home-life balance. Kids and spouses always makes it difficult, and I think that to be successful at anything in life, and especially in real estate, you've got to find that balance and work at it, and it's a constant struggle to be successful, as well as to manage that. And there's a lot of time management skills that go into that piece.
And you had a pretty busy year this year. You built a new house. You built a new house. You're building a fairly new company. I know you also invest and buy and flip homes, and of course, then you're managing 85 agents at this time.
Yeah. So. Well, I've got a great support group. My wife is a huge supporter of what I do, and we both spent time in corporate America, both my wife and I. She was with Wrigley Gum, I was with Hershey Chocolate, and it was our past lives. So we learned a lot about managing time and managing people, and it does come. It's very helpful if your spouse is involved. A lot of times I find that to be a big problem within our industry is that spouses don't always know what we're doing every day. And as long as they know what's going on and they can help manage that time, it sure does make life easier at home.
I honestly, when I've interviewed agents, I said, you know what, bring your spouse in for the next interview.
Absolutely.
Because if you have a spouse and they don't understand what you're doing or why you're going to be gone for the hours that you are, it can really create some problems.
Oh, without a doubt.
I'm not going out partying and drinking with friends. This is networking.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah. So that's very true. Is there anything that you'd in partying that you'd like to leave everybody with, John?
It's an exciting time in real estate. I think it's an exciting time in the Houston economy, and we could segue off and talk about the price of oil dropping, but I don't think it's going to affect us. I think that overall we're going to have a fantastic year. We've got some fantastic agents. You're talking about the Northeast Quadrant, Kingwood, Umbla, Atascocita, and this is just a wonderful area of Houston to enjoy, and you nailed it with 3 awesome ladies in there today.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. We do have what they call the Big M momentum. Things are already in motion, and it'd be almost impossible to stop it.
Yeah.
So I think we're in a pretty good position for 2015. John, thank you so much for calling in. Appreciate
you guys take care. Have a great day.
That's always great. It's always great to have John on board.
Get the invoice book out.
Oh, I've already made it about 3 or 4 for John. So let's open it up to everybody. Talk about that balance. How do you do that? Anybody who wants to field that may do so. I'm going to give it to Tiersa.
Yep, I know when I first got in the business, it can run your life over if you let it. I think the biggest thing is time management, setting boundaries for yourself and your clients. Not letting them run your life because your family will hate you.
Yes.
But, that takes time and it takes experience and figuring all that out. And I think what you guys were talking about earlier is shadowing somebody that's been there, done that. It's definitely not an easy business. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. I worked in engineering for 12 years before this, and this is way harder than anything I ever did at the plant. But
well, in engineering, at least mathematics don't lie, right?
Exactly. It's a very different, going from one spectrum into the spectrum to the other.
Yes.
So, but you do have the flexibility, and you do have to have self-discipline, because if you don't, with the flexibility and the free time, it will get away from you if you're not careful. So, it's hard work, it's dedication, it's keeping yourself on task. And being consistent. It doesn't just happen. A lot of people get into real estate thinking, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make lots of money. They're up watching an infomercial, at 2 in the morning, and then they get into it and they get frustrated. But
in the whole tired of your life, give us a call today. I can show you how to make millions of dollars with just a click of a button.
Right. Yeah, because real estate's going to solve all those problems. But no, it is a lot of fun, and it's very, very rewarding. But you have to have a plan and keep everything in order. It will run you over.
Yes, I would absolutely agree. And you have to have that balance as well. You mentioned, you have to be focused and determined. You have to have that balance, though, to also know that, we all work, though, to have a better life, to enjoy our family and our friends and our loved ones and everything that we do around that right there. So how about you, Megan?
Yeah, well, real estate's stressful enough. Running yourself ragged you have to have boundaries. You have to know, set a time when you're going to be done working, or when you're not going to take any more calls. You'll return them the next day, make time for your family. I can't imagine if I had kids and a husband and trying to manage extracurricular activities. And I mean, right now I just have to worry about myself. So it's easier than trying to manage a business as well as a family and all of that. So, it's like I said, it's easier for me because I don't have children, so I can just come and go. But anyways, you just gotta find the balance, and I think the balance is different for everybody.
That's right.
And I would agree, and I think that is hard. I mean, I tell everybody all the time, and we're gonna get to Angie to talk about this, but I've lost deals because I won't take a phone call in that let's say 7 o'clock at night, I get home, I'm with my baby, and he wants me to do something.
Right.
I'll call back 8 o'clock and they say, oh, you know what? I called somebody else. They were able to get a hold of you.
Right.
So, I mean, it moves pretty fast. I mean, right, Angie? I mean, what would you say on the same subject matter?
On the same subject matter as balance, I think, and that's why I'm with a company that, has the same ideas and concerns. It's about faith, family, and then business.
Faith, family, and business. I like that. Yeah, that's always really good. And as you mentioned right there is, it's just important to know that this business can be as rewarding as you want it to be for you, but can also be as tough as it can possibly be.
You definitely have to stick with it.
Right.
I mean, I was one of the people, like Tiersa said, you think you're going to jump in and, people buy houses every day. It's going to be easy. Not at all. Not at all. You got to get out there and work for your business.
People technically do buy homes every day.
Yes, but necessarily not from you.
That is correct.
That's right. And I think everybody's definition of success, this is something that I've learned over time. My personal definition of success is it may not be the same as, someone who's, got 2 or 3 young children at home. They might be perfectly happy making X amount of dollars to where, I want to make X, more than that. Or their goal is to be able to take a family vacation every year.
Right.
But you have to set those goals and define them up front, or you're just going to be kind of floundering out there. It is a business.
I would absolutely agree. Well, speaking of business, we're coming up against time on this show. So what I'd like everybody to do, one last time, if you don't mind, leave the audience know with one thing you'd like them to leave them with, in 20 seconds or less, and then one more time how we can get a hold of you. Angie, we'll start over here with you.
Just give me a shout if you're either interested in becoming an agent. I'd love to bring you on and let you experience that through Keller Williams, or if you're interested in buying or selling a home, give me a call. Thanks.
And that's Angie at angiestockton.com, by the way. Tiersa, how about you?
I just want to say thanks for having me. I was super nervous. I think we were all a little bit nervous, but it's been great, super easy. And like I said, I'm the broker owner of Texas Superior, so if anybody needs help with real estate, give us a call.
And that's Texas Superior Realty in Huffman, by the way.
Yep.
With a secondary office out in
Eagle Lake.
Eagle Lake, that is correct.
Yep.
And Megan, how about you?
Guys, I just want to leave you with thanks for listening to us today. And if you have any questions about buying a home, selling a home, feel free to give me a call, 281-435-3356. Have a great day.
Yeah, and Megan had her own fan club on Facebook.
Oh, I know. Let me tell you, it was crazy. I've never seen it. She put it out there about what she was doing. Here's the thing. We're going to leave off today. We always leave with a quote. Today's no difference. Happiness is not a matter of intensity, but of balance and order and rhythm and harmony. That is our quote for the week. Until next time, thanks for listening. We are out.
Listening to the Real Estate Rat Pack. The question is, who's Frank, who's Sammy, who's Dean, and who's the other guy?
Chris is Frank,
I'm
he's
Dean.
Dean, and I'm Sammy.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So tune in to the really big show every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on 100.7 The Word, KKHT.